boy, have I gotten myself into quite the pickle this time. So, for those of you who have been in the commentary community for a while now, you may be familiar with a former troll commentator called PS4 Fan 3310, more commonly known as Halofan hp00. Like I said, he was once a troll commentator back in 2015, but starting about last year, he has started to become a genuine commentator. So, anyways, context. Back in April, a news channel called Mickey Views did a video on a supposed overhaul on the Disney theme park Tomorrowland, among other recent Disneyland events, and a kid named Dan Stein did a commentary on that, which Halofan did a commentary on. Dan and Halo had their back and forth for 6 degrees until a commentator called Doodletone stepped in and did a commentary on the entire chain up to that point. While Dan has yet to respond to Doodle's video as far as I'm aware, Halofan, on the other hand, rushed out a commentary on Doodle's video and posted it not even a few hours after Doodle's video came out, which is where I step into this mess of a chain at degree 9. Now, before we begin, I am aware Halofan has since deleted the video from his channel, as well as shown regret in making said video. However, to my knowledge, nobody else appears to have covered this video, so no one else has pointed out the problems with it. And even then, from what I've seen of Halofan after this video, most of his later videos aren't much better, to be honest, so I'd still say it's fair game, despite being completely disowned. Anyways, that's all for the explanation, so let's get into the commentary. Time to ignite my flames!
Oh, this video is gonna make me into a big punching bag, isn't it?
Oh, pfft. Assuming you aren't already a really huge punching bag to begin with. Okay, in all seriousness though, if you're really that worried about your commentary turning you into a big punching bag, as you put it, you could just not make the video in the first place. Sometimes backing out and admitting defeat is the best option to avoid further conflict. Then again, that's assuming you don't already raise quite a fair number of white flags throughout this entire video.
Okay, so today's commentary is on Doodle Diapers, aka Doodle Nappies, or yeah, I'm just gonna call him Doodletone. So yeah, let's begin.
Well, okay then, that 7th bloody dragon.
He has done yet another damn commentary on my video.
And this is totally going to help, isn't it, Halofan?
And what am I supposed to do? Leave Dan Stein alone?
Don't you just love it when people take their targets out of context to bring up issues that have already been resolved in past degrees? Because I don't, that's for sure.
Why can't this guy just leave me alone for once?
I mean, you're the one responding, Halofan. Like I said to Orion and to Turkey, it takes two to tango, and you don't have to get the last word in a conversation. If you want Dan Stein to leave you alone, don't make a response to him. It's not like he's going out of his way to hit you, he's just merely responding to the commentaries you make on him. And I know he wouldn't respond to you if you don't give him something to respond to, given his second video on me was about where that whole spiel ended with us. I didn't talk about his video and he just kind of left me be, at least as far as commentaries go.
Whoa, would you look at that? An answer to your question in the very video you're covering. Doodletones had already addressed the point about leaving Dan alone in her previous commentary on you. As she explained with her skirmish with Dan back in 2016, Dan Stein is not the kind of person who will keep on pestering people if they ignore him. So, yes, Halo, Doodle does think you should leave Dan Stein alone. And honestly, given her example, so do I.
Hey, look at here, people. This guy called me a nitpicking douchebag at its finest.
But did I really?
Well, actually, you were actually nitpicking throughout the original video, throughout your video, for my commentary on you. You were just nitpicking about my voice and my skip screen in my intro entirely.
Don't worry, I plan to address Dan's really awful points when we get there, but for now I'd like to address the point you made, as it doesn't actually address Dan's point in this context. You had previously said that Dan had called you a nitpicking douchebag, and Dan corrected you, explaining how he didn't call you a douchebag. You explaining how he nitpicked your voice and intro in a previous video, regardless of where, doesn't actually address this to debunk anything or explain where he had called you a douchebag. If you don't provide proof he did, Dan's point is still valid.
Wow, this— Okay, first off, nitpicking, yeah, that's what he was doing.
And the point of this is... what? Like, how does Dan nitpicking your videos invalidate his point, or Doodle's point for that matter? Doodletones didn't even deny that Dan was nitpicking, but was simply stating that you calling Dan out for nitpicking didn't debug his point, so why is this even here? Hey, Larvesta here to bring up a possible meaning to Halofan's point here. After I got done scripting my commentary, it had occurred to me that Halofan could have meant to use his Dan was nitpicking point to debunk Dan's video, in which case, Halo, don't bother trying to say that, as that still doesn't debunk Dan's point. If anything, that would just make your point even worse, as then you'd just be using hypocrisy to try to debunk Dan's video, which is a type of ad hominem attack called a tu quoque. Now, I'm not saying for certain that you did intend to use your point in that manner, but regardless, you left the possibility there. Please be more careful next time.
But for me calling him a nitpicky douchebag, of course, obviously for the douchebag part, yeah, I just wanted to say that just because. I know it's not a point, but still.
Oh, okay, so basically what you're telling Doodletones is, hey, I know my point is invalid, but I made it invalid on purpose, so ha! Like, seriously, if you're literally just going to raise a white flag here and flat out admit your point is wrong, why bother interjecting here in the first place? On top of that, you got the context of your 4th degree point here wrong. Your point back in that video was you accusing Dan of calling you a nitpicking douchebag, yet here you're saying that you were the one calling him a nitpicking douchebag, which is straight up incorrect, and also really baffling considering you had played the very clip where you had made your accusation in your own video.
Wow, this means wooden.
This means wooden. I know he's trying to say this means war then, but doesn't sound like it to me.
See what I mean by you come to your suck ass? I mean, the reason why these suck is because you nitpicking my grammar. My god.
I mean, it's not your grammar, it's your pronunciation due to your obvious speech impediment, but, you know.
No, it was actually the grammar part of the video.
Sorry, Flame Hyanard, but repeating your points from previous degrees without elaborating on them doesn't make them valid. I could keep saying stuff like grass is red, a minute is 30 seconds, or the Stanley Parable is a competently made game with any worth over and over again, but that on its own won't make any of my points correct. Like, seriously, how could anybody like that boring slog of a video game? My god.
Alright, in order to, be fair, I'm just going to say the positive thing for once. So basically, yeah, I like your new intro. It gives you more of a reason to give yourself an avatar for the fact of being that, well, you see, you don't show your face.
As you can tell, I'm really facepalm right now. Literally. Just, really. Yep, you're still complaining about me showing my voice, showing my face in front of the video. The whole video. I seriously want to kill myself right now. But I can't, I'm doing a commentary.
I'm sorry, why is everyone so aggressive towards Halofan again? Well, anyway, Halofan, once again, this doesn't really address Dan's point. Dan, let's cut to the chase.
Okay, first off, here's the thing. The first part, yes, it does actually debunk this point, while the second part was a joke, actually.
Okay, there's quite a bit to go over in this instance. First of all, to go back and hit your 6th degree video, please learn what a retake is. I know this is a rather minor issue that doesn't completely destroy your video, but having stuff like this where you wind up messing up words in your video and having to repeat them comes off as somewhat unprofessional and lazy on your end. Second of all, to address your most recent video in this chain, no Halofan, Doodletones is correct here. Your argument back in your 6th degree video does not debunk Dan's point, as back there, you just complain about Dan getting on your case for showing your face in your first intro without really elaborating on why this is an issue. Had you gone into detail on why Dan complaining about you showing your face was an issue, your point actually could have had some ground to stand on, but no, you just said he was complaining about your intro with no substance. Finally, third of all, how does the fact that your I want to kill myself right now but I can't lie was a joke address Doodle's video? Are you trying to say that Doodle took your joke too seriously? Doodle didn't even address that part aside from her why are people aggressive towards Halofan again statement, which wasn't even part of the actual point she made towards you, but was instead a mere side note about how destructive some of your detractors were. So, no Halo, she's not really taking your joke all that seriously.
Halofan is merely telling you that if you're gonna get on this case for nitpicking, then you should probably practice what you preach.
And I'm pretty sure that's not a thing people say.
Okay, this is a thing that's been bothering me for quite a while, so now I'm going to bring it up. Throughout this video, there's quite a few instances where Halofan leaves a second or two of superfluous footage that has nothing to do with his interjections, such as here where he leaves in a part of Doodle's point clarifying Halo's hypocrisy point to Dan, only for Halo to talk about a later point about not showing a clip from one of his sources. I'll admit, at the end of the day, this point is rather nitpicky, but Halo, it would make your video look somewhat better if you were to not leave in these extra frames, so do try to work on that if you get a chance.
By the way, he was actually nitpicking himself. So hypocrisy comes with supplies.
Hypocrisy comes with supplies. I don't know what that means, and I'm pretty sure that's not a thing people say.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I got that clip or statement or whatever from Super Charmander 1. So do your research next time.
And there's no clip played, so thus you leave your audience having to do your legwork for you, which is really aggravating given Super Charmander 1 has 117 videos on his channel.
Reason why I didn't put it clipped in the video is because, yeah, let's face it, I was being pretty lazy at that point, so yeah, that's what I'm gonna say for that.
Again with the white flag points? How does you being lazy excuse the fact that you failed to provide context for where Super Charmander 1 made his hypocrisy comes with surprise line? Besides, just because there's a reason you didn't show context, that doesn't excuse the fact that you failed to show context. In other words, show your research next time.
You know what? My IQ gets lower and lower and lower every time this idiot speaks. Like, this video feels like a kind of cancer. Like, seriously. I mean, I'm not helping you. I'm most likely just helping YouTube from getting less cancelers now. Because honestly, that's what I need. I need YouTube to stay with you as soon as possible. I'm not helping you at all.
Oh, right. I forgot. This is why people get aggressive with Halofan.
Actually, that whole entire point I actually made was actually legit a joke, and you actually took it seriously.
Hold it! Halofan, could you please let Doodle finish your point before butting in?
Oh, right. I forgot. This is why people get aggressive with Halofan. Still doesn't make it right, though. Like, yeah, Halo coming in hostile towards their target isn't good, and Halo, if you do happen to watch this, there is a time and place to make potshots towards your target that doesn't seem like spite and seeping into your video. This wasn't it, as there wasn't a joke to it, especially when you follow that up with, oh, I'm not here to help you. Like, what are you here for then, if not to critique and debate Dan's video? Are you here to be destructive towards your target? Then what makes you any better than Dan?
I noticed that there are quite a number of instances throughout this video where you only play a portion of the entire degree chain instead of playing the entire context to your point, resulting in you taking your target out of context, which honestly comes off as really shady on your end, regardless if that was your intent or not. For instance, in this interjection, Doodle was explaining how your pot shot towards Dan came off as needlessly spiteful, given that you basically called this video cancer and said that you weren't trying to help Dan, giving off the impression that you just wanted to make this video to be destructive towards him. Also, how in the world was Doodle Tone supposed to know that your statement was just meant to be a harmless joke? Your tone and wording back in that statement do a horrendous job conveying your intentions, so if I were in Doodle's scenario, I honestly would have wound up making the same assumption she made.
Well, granted, I mean, the whole I'm not helping you improve thing, yeah, I took One-Wump's commentary on Lyric Shooter. That's where I got that point from.
And there's no clip playing, so thus you leave your audience having to do your legwork for you, which is really aggravating given that it's really hard to make out who you said you got your reference from because of your mumbling. Hey, am I experiencing deja vu? Okay, to add on to this point, how does the fact that you got your statement from another YouTuber excuse how spiteful you came off in this part of the video? For all we know, whoever you got your line from could have also gotten called out for sounding destructive, just like what Doodle called you out for here.
For me, I'm not showing my face like some freaking idiot that you are. Okay, fine. First off, I do apologize for calling you an idiot, seriously, but seriously, it's jarring, like really jarring.
How is his camera footage jarring when he uses it throughout the entirety of his video?
That's because I really don't want him using a camera for his commentaries. At least in my opinion, I think he should use an avatar for his videos. I know it's not a point, but
okay, there's quite a few things wrong here. First off, you once again interrupted Doodle before she could finish.
How is his camera footage jarring when he uses it throughout the entirety of his video? To be jarring, you'd have to somehow clash incongruously to your surroundings. I mean, maybe you mean it as jarring in comparison to someone using an avatar, but in context of this whole shift-slinging episode we got going on here, Dan was using camera footage to another person using camera footage. So it's not any more jarring than when a commentator with an avatar commentates on another commentator using an avatar. If anything, you bringing up how it's jarring would incentivize you to use camera footage instead of an avatar, which I know you don't wish to do.
Doodle was explaining the definition of jarring, and bringing up how Dan's first degree video wasn't jarring, given that it was him using camera footage on another person using camera footage. You saying that Dan should use an avatar in his video would only serve to make his video even more jarring in comparison to Mickey Fuse's video. Secondly, way to repeat the exact same mistake Dan made in his videos on you. Just like Doodle said, Dan is free to use camera footage if he wants, just as you and I are free to use video game characters as avatars. Please don't get onto Dan's case for this. I really don't feel like playing a hypocrisy media clip right now.
Before you said my point was jarring, you were mumbling a little bit.
I was not mumbling for a little bit for the point I made. I said in my video, I was like, I'm sorry for calling you an idiot. How come I can hear that point, but some reason you can't?
Well, because of course you would know what you said. You said it. It's like when Blazing Larvesta argued in favor of his piss-poor audio balancing. Some people won't be able to understand you if your music overpowers your audio, just as the case here.
Okay, Doodle, I'm supposed to be defending you here. Please don't open up old wounds, thank you very much.
Still. Yeah, but here's the thing. I'm not saying it to everyone else. I'm just clarifying it to you. Why? Because you keep on repeating the point. You're drilling it through my head. It doesn't need to be.
You did it once in the earlier video and once after your video. The point isn't getting hammered in, or at least not as far as we can see in your video.
Actually, the point kind of was drilled in my head a little bit because he kept on repeating the same point over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And yeah.
What point are you even talking about? The footage you show in this interjection does not specify which point Dan was constantly repeating, given that you cut out Dan's part of the chain, leaving viewers completely lost on what exactly is going on in this part of the video.
Yeah. This country's on Dan Stan.
I'm sorry, what did you call me?
He's on Dan Stan.
Dan Stan! That sounds like my Swedish counterpart. I should talk to him.
So let me get this straight. You're nitpicking my grammar.
Now I know why you don't know how to speak English. Cause if anyone ever tried to teach you, you'd say it's nitpicking.
Not to mention, another bit of context you forgot to bring up was where else Dan was repeating his points, as that could have proved that Dan didn't just repeat his point once, but in fact said it over and over and over again. Shame you couldn't in this particular instance though, as Dan really was only complaining about your pronunciation of his name once in his 3rd degree video and later on in his 5th degree video. Fun fact, most people don't consider saying a point twice to be drilling a point into someone's head.
Yucky bear for once. Oops. I'm sorry about that. Next time you should actually wait for the person to finish the statement instead of cutting them off.
Halofan, buddy, what does this exactly prove? Like, what's the joke? Because that's what Dan is getting onto your case about. He doesn't understand the joke, and your clip of you explaining how he nitpicks your pronunciation and called you Yogi Bear doesn't really provide the good context to the joke you were telling whilst calling him Angry Bullman.
Now, the reason why I didn't show any context for the video is because, once again, I forgot to show the context for the video. I know that's a lazy-ass attempt for me to say that, but it's true.
Yeah, I'm just going to redirect my viewers back to my white flag and no context points again, as I am not repeating myself over and over again. With that, Halofan just ends the video, stating that he thought Doodle's video was good overall aside from the points he brought up, and then worries some more about how his commentary is going to turn him into a punching bag. Nothing really worth bringing up, so time for final thoughts. Halofan, real talk, what in the world were you trying to accomplish with this video? This video honestly feels like you just lazily put together this commentary just for the sake of making a commentary to defend yourself instead of owning up to your mistakes. Which I should know is an absolutely horrible idea given the miserable reception my commentary on Phantom End got. Even if that wasn't your intention though, on its own merits, this video is still really hot garbage, and to me at least, stands as one of the absolute worst commentaries to come out this year. Throughout this video, you took Doodle out of context, made up excuses instead of trying to debunk her video, made interjections that were already proven blatantly wrong by past degrees, including parts you showed in this very video and outright admitted defeat in some of your interjections. Next time, I suggest putting a bit more effort into your videos, as well as having other people look over your scripts to make sure your points actually work against what your target is saying. Else you'll just wind up with even more videos like the one I covered today. Now, despite me coming off as potentially really aggressive in certain parts of the video, I do genuinely wish the best of you in terms of content, and I am aware that you have since apologized for this video, so there is that. However, if what I've been hearing about your more recent videos, like your recent one on Marcus Yamamoto, are any indicator, you don't seem to have improved much since this video. Anyways, this has been Blazing Larvesta, and best of luck with your future content.
Wait, what? Why is my shirt gray? Oh, I don't feel so good.